Hello everyone, in this video I'm going to show you how to set up a Bestway pool filter. It's easy, it's simple, and I guarantee you at the end of this video you'll know how to set it up so you can run the water filter pump in your own pool. Now stay tuned. So before you can set your water pump up, it's always a good practice to inventory your equipment. So basically you're going to need 2 hoses, okay? 1, 2. You're going to need 4 clamps. 4 clamps. Okay, you're going to need your input and your output valves here. So this one sucks the water in, this one is going to push the clean water out into the pool. Okay, so the next thing you want to make sure you have is that these rubber seals are around the connecting part for the hoses. So there should be 2 rubber seals, one here and one on the other side. You also want to lift up the top part of this water filter to make sure you actually have the filter inside. So you're going to twist this up. Oops. You're going to pull it up. And you want to see that you have the filter inside. As you can see, we got to probably clean our filter out because we've been using it for a while now. Alright, so that concludes the inventory. So the first part we want to do is we want to connect the plastic hose to the water pump, and you got to make sure that you pay attention because there's an A side and there's a B side, and we're going to get to that later in the video. So what you want to do, you want to make sure that the hoses are over the plastic seal, so you can just wiggle it in there like this, like so. You want to make sure that the seals are still on there. Okay. You also want to take the second hose and put it on the B side. And it doesn't matter what hose go on the A or B side, as long as you place the hoses on there. And like I said later in the video, keep watching so I can explain to you. So I'm putting this on the B side here. The B side. And you want to make sure that when you're putting the hoses on the pump that you don't put no dirt in here by accident. So try your best to do this in a clean area. Okay, so I'm putting the hoses here on. Okay. Make sure the rubber seals are on there because this is what's going to keep the water from not slipping out. Alright, so now that you got the hose on there, hoses, you want to go ahead and you want to take the clamp. You're going to loosen up the clamp. These opened up here. Okay. And the clamp are going to, you're going to place the clamps right here on this extra part right here. Okay. This is going to lock these clamps in place that they don't slip off. Okay, as you can see. Okay. 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 So as you can see, you want to put it on top of the plastic. You don't want this. I'll slide it on here a little bit more. There you go. See how it fits perfectly around the plastic part, the hose. Tighten it, but don't tighten it too hard that you do not want the clamps to actually strip your clamps. So I'm going to go ahead and place another clamp on the other side. Okay. As you can see, they're off. Okay. So, clamps here. Okay. Want it right there on top of the plastic. At the end. Okay. So, now we have the clamps on there. So this is how you set it up, pre-set up. So now I'm going to show you how to connect each part to the pool. So now since we're moving on to the next part of the setup, now remember earlier in the video I told you that there's an A side and a B side. So now we're getting into that part. So as you can see on your pump here, I mentioned earlier there's an A side, and you want to make sure that you connect the A side to the side on the pool where it says the A side. Okay, and on the A side, depending on your instruction, you have to read your instruction, but for this Pacific Bestway pool, this part of the hose go inside of there. Okay, remember this one for the fresh water, and this sucks it out. So this is going to be for the A side, and this is going to be for the B side. Okay, now before we can put this thing, the plug inside the pool, we have to take out this black knob right here. There's a knob sitting inside of there. And you want to connect the A side before you take it out, because if you pull this plug out right now, the water's going to shoot out. So you got to have something to keep the water inside of there. So I'm going to plug this up first. Okay. I'll plug it up first like so. So now that that's inside there, I can reach inside. I can take out this black plugger right here, plug. Okay, as you can see, normally the water will just shoot on out, but it's not going to shoot out now because I have this side with the hose A in there. So I'm going to go ahead and place it to the side. Make sure you don't lose your piece. And I'm going to take my A filter and I'm going to put the A filter inside where the black plug was in. So I'm going to push it all the way through that it comes on this side right here. So you're going to push through here and it's going to come out here. So you don't want this to fall out. So that's where our second part of the clamps come in. You're going to open up the clamp and you're going to put the clamp. I normally put the clamp right here because it's going to lock the filter knob inside so that it doesn't roll away, fall off. So I'm going to unplug and I'm going to put the clamp here. So you see, right here, just locks it in place. Okay. Okay, so don't forget the A side. Okay, so now we have one filter knob in there. So now we're going to move over to the B side. Okay. So this is going to be the B side. Just like I said before, this is going to suck the water in. It's going to go through the filter out the dirty water, and push the clean water through the A side. Okay. So now we're at the B side. Now we showed you the A side, and now the B side. So here's the B side. Okay, so just like we did the A side, we want to make sure we plug this in first, the hose, because we don't want the water shooting out on us. Then once the hose is in there, I'm going to take the plastic plug out from the inside. Okay, there you go. So now I'm going to go ahead and put the other filter knob inside of here. As you can see, the water is not shooting out, it's just going through here. Okay, as you can see. Alright, oh, can't see, I'm blind. Alright, so I pushed it all the way through. You want to make sure that it's level and flat in there. I don't know if you can see, but it's in there. So I want to go ahead and take my clamp. Make sure you don't lose any of these pieces. Do not lose the pieces. I know you probably had kids around the house, so these are very important. Don't lose it. Put the clamp on here. Okay. Alright, so right there to lock it in place. Okay. Oh, come on. Got butterfingers today. Get in there. There we go. So you can see the clamps are right here. Make sure they don't slip out of place. Okay, do not over twist it. You don't want to destroy your clamps. So now I just basically showed you how to inventory. I showed you how to set it up. Now we're going to move into the most important part of the video. It's the operation procedures. So before we operate this pump, there are a few safety procedures that you're going to definitely have to implement. So the first thing you want to do is you want to make sure that this pump is not on when the kids are in the pool, because that can be a hazard. Electricity can shock your kids and have a fatal accident, okay? Also, when the pump is actually on, you want to make sure that the plugs are placed in a safe, the plugs are not laying out in the rain or laying out overnight. So you can cover it up. What I normally do is, if I'm going to leave the pump on for like an hour or two, I like to put the plug inside the shack or cover it with like this pot over it. So make sure that it doesn't touch, water gets in here. So make sure the pump isn't on when the kids are in the pool. That's basically what I'm trying to say to you. So before we turn the pump on, we want to make sure that we open up this top part right here, because the pump right now has air pressure inside of it, and you have to let the air out. In order to do this, you're going to have to release the air. As I said, air release. Okay? So air release. You're going to leave it open, okay, for a few seconds. Okay? You hear that noise? Okay, so it's letting all the air out of there. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and plug up the pump. So just wait a second. So as you can see, I'm about to turn the water pump on. I'm going to plug it inside of here. We're using a German 220 right now, so yours could be an American 110. So you don't have to plug it inside of here. I'm doing it because my extension cord, my plug cannot reach inside here without messing up my setup. So I'll plug it up. And we're going to head back to the water pump right now. Okay. As you can see right now, it's beginning to send water through here. So I want to close the pump. I want to close the air because I already let air in it. See, as you can see. Now you know your pump is working. It's going to take maybe 5 minutes before it pushes all the air out. Sometime when the water is too low, I normally get a piece of log or wood that I lift it up that the water can flow a little better. See? Because your pool may be low with water, so this is helping it flow a little better. Now, you know your pump is working when you see this side over here. You can see that it's coming out over here. So the water is actually, the pump is actually working perfectly. And as I showed you before, it's going to be sucking in on this side right here. So everything's sucking in here. Okay. Now another thing I just want to mention is that the pool, the water filter isn't going to clean your pool with the big object. It's the items that we don't see. So it's always good to purchase like a net. You can go inside the pool. You can. Okay. So it's actually catching the things we don't see. All right. So that concludes our pool setup. Remember, do not have the pump on when kids are in the pool. Absolutely not. You can run the pump for like an hour or two. Make sure you cover up all the wires that if you leave it outside, that if it somehow rains, that it doesn't mess it up. All right, in our next video, I'm going to show you how to disassemble the water pump. I'm going to show you also some troubleshooting procedures because when I first set this pump up, I had a little issue. So I learned, and I'm going to show you guys in the next video. So stay tuned. Please like and subscribe, and maybe we're going to make videos that interest you. So